Hello, everybody. You are very welcome to Chatting Up the Irish. Our episode this week, you'll find me chatting to a very interesting man from the Claddagh in County Galway. Very special place, very special man. He makes barons, he makes uilleann pipes, and he makes the reeds for uilleann pipes. Tonight he's going to tell us about the King of the Claddagh and all of his instrument making abilities. So hang with us for 30 minutes. I'm sure you'll enjoy this episode. Please like and share, and feel free to make comments. Chatting Up the Irish. Hello everybody, you're very welcome to Chatting Up the Irish. I am speaking tonight with a very interesting man. He's a very talented man. He's a musician. He's also a great, outstanding craftsman. He makes musical instruments. One of them is called a baron, which I play, and he also plays uilleann pipes, whistle, flute. He's really amazing. But he comes from a very, very special place in Ireland. My guest is called Michael Vignoles. How are you, Michael? And he comes from Claddagh.
Thanks. Lovely to talk to you.
It is great. We haven't met in so long, of course, with this COVID thing.
I've had great memories of being there in Ohio. I've made it so fantastic.
Yeah.
I really
Michael, you come from a very special place. It's called the Claddagh in Galway. It has a great history. It had a king, and tell us all about the Claddagh.
Yeah, we still have a king, actually. Yeah, I'm from a place called the Claddagh. Claddagh means the age of the water. On Claddagh, it's pronounced in Gaelic, and it means the age of the sea, because I'm literally on the edge of the sea here. You could throw a stone. It's about 50 yards. If I could throw a stone 50 yards, I think I still can. But, you'd actually hit the water. And it's lovely in the winter nights. Even here, the storms come in from the ocean.
Yeah.
But I'm right in the centre of the Claddagh. The Claddagh was originally the old part of the town, and it was later on that the cities came along, and there's a division between the Claddagh and the actual city. There's a river dividing it.
Yeah.
And there used to be a wall around Galway one time as well.
Yeah.
The Claddagh was a very special place, and the culture here was very strong as well between Connemara and the Claddagh, because there was a fish market down there, the Spanish Arch, just across the river there.
Yeah.
And the people would come in and trade turf for fish. It was a big thing, like back in the day.
So the king was the one that would lead out the fishermen out to sea.
That's right, yeah. And they would have a blessing of the bay as well once a year, and for the fishermen. And he would be the important man at the time. And it was to the oldest man in Claddagh usually it was given to.
Oh,
and we
really?
still have a king today, believe it or not.
Have you? What's his name?
We have, yeah. It's always passed down through generations. And the king is Mr. Linsky. Michael Linsky is his name. Actually, he lives about maybe 15 doors down from me here. And he's in his 90s. Actually, I believe his birthday was only 2 weeks ago there.
Really?
I met his son, and I know his son fairly well.
And does he go out fishing? Does he go out fishing? Does he go out fishing?
He did lovely boats as well in the day, and back in the day,
And they used special boats that were unique to Connemara and the Claddagh. They were called hookers.
That's right, yeah.
Talk about the hookers.
Yeah, the Claddagh hookers had a distinctive sail. It was a very deep brown sail. They had black sails as well, but the most common one that I know of was a very dark brown coloured sail. And they were rowed in the old days, like there was no engines back then or anything like that. Yeah. But they lived off the sea and sailed out to sea and caught the fish and traded it in the market every weekend there.
Yeah.
And the people from Connemara, like I said, would come in and swap. And
well, I had an ex-brother-in-law of mine. He has a hooker. He has it moored down. Well, he had down in the Claddagh in there.
Oh yeah.
And he used to go out to a place called Inishbarkan, and he learned how to sew the sails of the hookers. And the guy that taught him, I think he was the last one to learn to. That was his trade. There was a special way you sewed the sails.
Yes, there was.
And Colleen learned how to do it from this man.
Yeah.
And the Inishbarkan, if you've ever been out in it, oh my God, Michael, beautiful. It's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful.
Yeah.
But talking about...
I remember when I was small, I'd go down by where the boats were down there at the pier. You'd be watching them learning, teaching them how to make knots for the ropes and stuff, special ways. With all different names on the knots and everything.
Yeah. Well, talking about the Claddagh, years ago, like the Claddagh was a little village. And I just put up this picture to show people the roof of that house. That's the Beach Bar in Achras in County Sligo. But all of the houses were thatched at one stage in the Claddagh, weren't they, Michael?
They were all thatched houses one time, yeah, and they were knocked down after the war. This is a very old. We're not in a thatched house, and my grandfather was in the First World War, and if you survived the war and you came back, you were given what was called an ex-serviceman's house at the time, and we were fortunate to have that. And they had very big gardens,
Yeah.
and everyone used to sow their garden that time. You could look down the road there, the whole length of the backs, and they used to have like beds for fences, the all iron beds.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would be in the back for fences and mounds of clay and stuff. And they'd all be talking to one another in the springtime,
yeah.
sowing the vegetables. I was only a young fella, and my neighbour, Lord Mercy on him, he always taught me how to sow the garden. And you
Oh,
would never go to the shop, you'd have always
yeah,
vegetables and
we
stuff.
we were the same. We had a
Underneath.
big garden. We had about a half an acre out the back of the house, and
Yeah,
we had our potatoes and our cabbage and lettuce and runner beans, and we had the carrot,
yeah,
every sort of vegetable. We had them. I hated weeding the bloody thing.
I know it's awful to come up so fast, the weeds.
It was great to have the vegetables, and I miss it now.
Yeah,
But oh
yeah.
God, weeding it was a horrendous job.
Yeah, it still is actually. I
It is,
remember burning
yeah,
my hand the nettles. You catch a nettle during the
yeah.
when you're reading. But they were great times.
They were
They were-
in a way they were great times, and
Now we
thatch
now we have a
thatch
thing called a
houses.
soup. Sorry,
Yeah, go on ahead.
we have a thing called a supermarket now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's taken over kind of a little bit.
Yeah, but the thatching of houses, well, again, it's a craft in itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and you still
Yeah.
see some thatched houses around, but for
Mm.
anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, the roof of this picture that's behind me, that's thatch, and it's a certain type of local reed that would be used.
Wow.
And do you know anything about thatching and the way it's done?
A small little bit. I had a few friends that done it. I can't remember though how they done it, to be honest. But
But
I
what
know it was a
you
trade of its own.
Yeah, what
Mm.
you do, your craft, Michael, you have so many things. First of all, will we talk about the barons? You make barons,
I make barons and
high
island
class
pipes.
barons.
Yeah, I make the real ones. um, yeah, I can show you my baron workshop if you want.
Absolutely, I'd love
Now
it.
it's in
And
a
and
mess.
you're teaching a young fella there behind you
I have a
how
young
to.
little fella here in the background, James, is my grandson, and
Okay,
he's learning how
Seamus,
to put tracks in the baron.
will you show us how to put the how to hammer in the tacks into the baron and get the skin tight on the baron?
You can tell me how to. Can you see him there, mate?
I can see him. Yeah,
Just hammer in the tack there. That's it.
good
I'm training
boy.
him how to put tacks in. He's very good at it. He's a great little worker.
That's a
Great
great
worker.
help for
You
you.
can see. Do you know what we do as well? We actually make craft items as well. Doing some chimes there hanging up on the ceiling.
Oh,
And you make
lovely. So
Yeah,
you're
they're
making.
quite nice. Give him a rattle there, James. And James learned how to make them. He can actually make them himself, if you believe it.
Can he?
Yeah, and he's only 7. But that's what I think is missing in today's world. You need to
Yes,
teach
yeah,
young
yeah,
people how
yeah,
to make things.
yeah. You
He's
have to
brilliant at
pass
that.
it on, and that's the
Yeah,
thing. There was always such a big emphasis on degrees for this and degrees for that and degrees for the other, and they forgot about the trades, Michael.
I know the trade was so important. Let me
Yeah,
show you the Barron workshop real quick.
yeah,
And it's not a big place I have. It's actually chock-a-block at the moment because I have a lot of Barons here, as you
yeah.
can see.
Brilliant.
They're
So,
we
Michael,
make
what sort of wood would you use for the rim of the
the wood
baron?
that I would use there. Hope no, this is laptop. It's called birchwood. This is it here,
Yeah.
piece of birch, and we bend it and we shape it into a mold. Here's a typical example here now. Right here. I should have cleaned up the place if I knew.
It's all right.
There's one mold there. There's 2 in the mold there actually. I don't know. Can you see them?
Yes,
And they're
yeah.
planted here. And we take it out of the mold. Then we have to sand it down, and we have several of them there under my feet there on the ground.
Yes, I see them.
They're all in the mold. They're coming out Monday now. They take about
Yeah.
24 hours to dry. And then we actually colour them. We put different colours on them. We have a way of colouring them. We put a few different colours on first. And the
Ah,
finished product, really, to make a long story short, is a
there's a
typical
colour.
example of the finished colour.
Oh, it's
On one
gorgeous.
of them, we do several colours.
Yeah.
That's a nice green colour. And that's the frame of the barn. And we put all the parts on it. This would be a professional barn now. A really,
And I love
good quality one.
I
But
love the decoration on the edge of it. How do you do that?
yeah, it's inlay. I've got show you this on my hand for a second. I've got it's inlay edging. I'll show you now in 2 seconds. Really, sorry. We routed the edge of the barn there,
Yes.
We put an edge on it. We have a machine. We route it all the way around, put a little edge on it, and then we get this different inlays, and we insert it in around the edge
Oh,
like that
yeah,
there.
right.
That we
Yes,
do, and
gorgeous. Yeah,
we glue it on and clamp it, of course. You can put different colours to match the thing. We make our own mix of colour here,
yeah.
and we put a wax over it. But the most important thing is, yourself on a bar
The
is
skin.
actual the sound, because the skin quality is the most important. You're looking for a deep sound.
And where
So yourself.
where do you
I'm
get
going to make a
the
show.
and Michael, where do you get the skins? Where do you get the goat? That's a goat
I have
skin.
a very good friend on the country. Yeah, I have a very good friend on the country down in Newcastle West that keeps with them. The real good ones going down, the real good bar on the professional ones. Have you still got the one I made you?
I do, and I play it.
That was a nice barn as well. And then we do the ordinary barn as well. This is a professional one. It's got hand tuners on it.
Yes,
Really quick and easy to tune, like your one actually, I think.
yes, yeah,
And real fast, and you can go up and down with the tone,
yes,
especially in different weather, humid weather and
yeah.
stuff. And then we also make the standard barn here as well. This is the standard one. The people that don't want the tunable or maybe can't afford a tunable, we make an ordinary one where we put the skin on there, and it's got two bars in the back. They pop in there like that, and we glue them in.
Yes,
Got a second one there, and we sand all that down. It's normally a brown color, this kind of color, when it's finished. They're quite nice and lovely
beautiful.
beginners.
Yeah, but they don't have that's not a tunable one now. That
It's
would
not
be
tunable, yeah, but it's less expensive. And
yeah,
some people want to start on that. In your climate, mind you, there's very temperamental climate. You've got hot and cold. I think in the summer, and
yeah,
humidity. That the skin actually contracts and expands with
yeah.
humidity.
And if anyone over here wanted to buy a Boweron, would you ship it over to them, Michael?
I ship all the time. I have a deal on my website. I've
Brilliant,
got free shipping to the States actually at the moment. Yeah,
brilliant. So, but you also make uilleann pipes. Explain. Uilleann pipes
I
are
make uilleann
very
pipes as
unique.
well. Yes, indeed. I have to go back into the pipe workshop. So
Yeah.
I kind of split the workshop in two. I trying to keep the barons out of here really, because here I got like pipes on the table finishing
Oh,
off
there's
there.
the uilleann pipes.
I'm tuning up reeds on the table. I've got some reeds made up here. I've got more pipes here finishing off, and I'm making some bellows here as well. These are the bellows for the pipes. I make the bellows wood, and I
Yeah.
cut it into shape, and I put the pipe on it, and the finished bellows in would be kind of. You'd see in a minute. I'd actually play a tune for if you want.
Yes, that would be lovely. Yeah, I'd like people to see, and the uilleann pipes would be a natural Irish instrument.
Oh, they're very, very authentic Irish. Yeah, they're very old, and they're very. The original makers were from Drogheda, and they were called the Taylor Brothers, and they played in the Key of C originally because there was no big venues here. There was only barns, and there was little rooms where the sessions were. So the
Yeah.
original played in the Key of C, which is a lower key, and indeed in B flat as well, which is another. I've got a B flat chanter here. This is a very long chanter. It's much longer than the normal chanter.
Yeah.
It's like say 16 inches as against 14 inches,
Okay.
and the longer the instrument, the flatter it is, the more lower it is.
Oh,
And the
really?
original pipes, and the Taylor brothers, they found that they emigrated to America, to Philadelphia, and they started playing in big concert halls because it's much bigger in America, and they found that the people at the back of the hall couldn't hear, so they shortened the pipes and made them into the key of D, and they were known as concert pitch pipes then, and they became known as concert pitch pipes ever since, and because they were played in concert halls,
Yeah.
so there was no microphones, you see, back then. They actually shortened the instrument. Yeah, yeah, they're very special instruments, very haunting.
They are, yeah. And
Yeah,
they're
and
the
I started
hardest
making.
they're the hardest instrument to play as well, aren't they, Michael?
They can be the regulated part. They're divided up. You've got the chant, which is the melody. That's quite easy to play. You're just playing the tune, really. It's
Yeah.
like a flute or a whistle, but you've got air, you've got a bellows and bag. You might be able to see me from there, actually. Then you stand over there, please. And you use your fingers, right, and you've got a bellows and a bag,
Yeah.
and that's easy. You just learn the scale and you learn your tune. The second part is the drums, which is to make a continuous humming noise.
Yeah.
Very easy to play. Again, you just turn a switch and you keep them pressurized. But the third part of the pipes, which are regulators, these are very complex.
That
These
yes.
give you 13 different notes, and each note is just 13 different notes in the chanter. You've got an A, and you've got an A below, and a regular. And so you can play actually chords. You can play two notes on the regulators or three, and you get a chord effect. Or you can play two in the chanter and one here, and you get a chord effect. So you can actually take out do 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 that kind of effect.
Yeah.
But they're hard to play because you got to get your mind off playing the chanter, and you have to keep playing the chanter. And you tip them while you. A lot of work on that. That's
Yeah.
the hard part of the pipe suite. But
Yeah.
I'll show you in a moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can show you how they work if you want.
Yeah, do say play tune.
Have you got time? Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Okay. James, excuse me. Will you take that out of the way, please? Thank you. I've got set here. I'm going to try out for you. I'll explain. Can you see me from there? Okay.
I can.
Great. You've got the bellows. It's like an air pump. Makes air. That's all, really. It's just an air pump, really. And I showed you the piece of wood that I make it out of earlier there. A little bit of work in making the bellows. This is the bag, actually. I make the bags as well. They're made out of leather.
Yeah.
And I sew them up together. I just put stitching all on the side, and they have to be airtight as well. Sometimes I use different color leathers, depending on. But they're covered with a velvet bag anyway. But they have to be 100% airtight as well.
Yeah.
Stitching it can leak very easy if you don't seal it properly.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose pressure on the pipes when you're playing them. So sit here because I'm just finishing off, and I'm going to connect it. There's a pipe underneath. I'm going to connect to the bellows.
Yeah.
This will pump air into the pipe if you like. Can you still see me?
Now we cannot see as you sit down. We cannot see.
Okay. We'll fix that in a second.
That's it. Down a little bit lower. Yeah. That's perfect.
Lower. How about there?
Perfect. No, that's it. Just down a little bit more, Michael.
Yeah. Just don't knock it off the table. Nice. Use the whole top. That's it. James,
yes, that's perfect. That's it. That's it.
Great. Okay, nearly there. Now just put them together now. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Actually, I can get James to hold it. It might be better steady though. So I put my arm into the thing here.
Yeah.
And this is the air pump, and it's connected to the bag. Once I move the bag now, the bag is going to fill with air. This is the chanter, the D chanter. I'm going to connect it to here. There's a little switch here that stops the air when I want to talk to people. But I'm told that, and it just blocks the air going into the chanter. That's all that is.
Okay.
And then you've got the drone, the three drones, which make the harmony part, and I connected them to here. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Good. And when I turn on the pipes, I'm going to, I'm going to have to tune up the drones really quick because I haven't played this for a while, and I'm getting comfortable. And you need it's handy if you have a pint of Guinness. That helps a little bit sometimes.
It does.
So I turn on the drones. They're probably out of tune first. So I'm going to slide them up and down. Can you see my hand? No.
Yes. Yeah.
You can see this hand, can you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's great. Out of tune, right? So I'm going to slide this one up. You hear it coming into
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
The other one's already in tune. So there's three drones going together. They're the drones. These are the regulators. No, and I'll put this on here just 2 seconds now. And this worked by a reed. And the reed is actually made from a piece of bamboo. A piece of bamboo is this thing here, like in the jungle,
Yes.
You cut it and you slice it. It's like two lollipop sticks shaved, really, really thin. It's so thin on the top. And it's put onto a piece of a tube. And it vibrates. When the air comes down through, it vibrates on the top. And that's what gives you the high frequency sound.
Yeah.
That makes the unique sound of the Dylan pipes. So now, let's put this in here now again. And you have to be awful careful with reeds.
Yeah.
And because if you break them, you get used to playing them and used to the pressure that they take. So you don't want to break your reed because it's very disheartening, especially if you're miles away and you're not able to make them.
Yeah, and you're not able to get one. And
so, and here's the sit.
brilliant stuff, Michael.
The acoustics in here really is kind of. It's nice if you're in the kitchen or something. The rebound of the sound is really
Yeah.
cool, you know.
But it's it's
And
it's
especially
nice to give
middle
people
of
an idea of what the uilleann pipes are.
course. Yeah.
You also play the whistle as well, don't you?
I do, yeah. I play the whistle as well, yeah. I think I have an old whistle there somewhere. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just a basic T one, you know.
Yeah, well, play it good.
The whistle is very actually the fingering for the whistle is almost identical to the chanter.
Yeah,
In fact, the whole top three, the top six notes are the same,
yeah.
and you only use one extra on the pipes.
Uh-huh.
So the whistle and pipes are very, very similar. And playing the whistle, then it's just you've got two scales. It's called a penny whistle. There used to be a
Yeah.
penny back in the day. So you just have two scales. You blow the low scale and the high scale. You learn the scale first. That's the low scale
Yeah.
because I blew gently. And then you blow harder and you get the high scale. That's high as it goes, really.
Yeah.
So the whole scale is.
Yeah.
The tune is. That's the scale. But it is quite kind of easy to play. Again, it takes practice. You know, you learn your notes one at a time, and the same as the pipes, you learn one note at a time and progress from there. You know,
Yeah.
it's a nice challenge in these awful times we live in.
I know,
You know?
yeah, it's something to do when people are not able to go out and
Yeah, yeah,
socialize. But Michael, you also during normal times you also come over to America and you come to the festivals and you sell your barons and all your stuff. You've been
yeah.
doing that a good while now. How long have you
You
been
know,
doing that?
what I do is I go over and I demonstration. I put on an exhibition of what I do, and I like it's a demonstration thing where I take orders and go back home and make the stuff and send them over. So I do, and I've done lots of festivals all over America. Really, and mostly Ohio was very good. Down around your place actually was
Yeah,
really nice. Well,
yeah,
yeah, beautiful, great times there. And we showed the people how to make the reeds and how the barn works and how the pipes work. Especially, there was huge interest in that. You go in and I just sit and do demonstration, and I talk the same way as I'm talking to you about the reeds,
yeah,
what the reeds made of, and all that, where they came from, the
yeah.
history of them and so on. And it was very popular in America. So I'm coming back every year just for the weekend, and I put on a demonstration exhibition kind of thing.
Yeah, it's great because we meet up now during the Dublin Irish Festival
Oh
and the
yeah,
Dayton
yeah,
Celtic Festival, and
yeah.
it's great. We end up
And the atmosphere is fantastic at night time. It's very
It is,
enjoyable.
yeah. We end up
So it
having
is.
sessions together and everything. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So then I do schools as well. And over here, I think you mentioned schools. There. I'm going to talk to you about schools as well.
Yeah, the workshops, yeah.
Yeah, what I do is I've got a lot of teachers coming to me. They want their children to be able to learn something and
Yeah.
do an activity. So I've started up a baron making course, if you like,
Brilliant.
for students. There can be 15, 16, 17 or younger even. I've done primary schools as well in the past, but they would only make the small baron.
Yeah.
But then the bigger students would actually make a big,
Big
proper size baron. And I would show them, give them the whole materials and I would supervise them. And they would sand down the frame and fit the skin on it and get the tension right on it and they fit all the tacks on it. And then after all that, they would put decoration on the side of it. And you will actually see it on my website, School Workshops.
yes.
On the right hand corner there, the School Workshop, and you'll see the beautiful work that they come up with. The
Well,
young people look great.
yeah. Before we finish, Michael, I want to give your website. If
Sure.
anybody is interested in buying a baron from Michael, he'll ship it out to you here in America, or a set of pipes, or reeds for pipes. I suppose you could ship out reeds for pipes as well.
I do it all the time, yeah, yeah.
Well, his website is michaelvignoles.com. It is Vignoles, michaelvignoles.com, and you can see all of what he does there, and you can contact him through that. He would send out beginner baron if you wanted to start learning you don't have to go to too much of an expense to get a Bowron. You have Bowrons all different sizes, all different prices.
All different sizes. Yeah.
Yeah, and for any professional Bowron players out here in America, he would do one to your specifications, would you, Michael?
Absolutely, I do it all the time. I've the famous John McBride Bar there from Ohio,
Yeah,
and loads of friends and loads of friends like that. That's
yeah, and of course I've one of your Bowrons that I play all the time.
yeah. And Eddie Cotter was using the big 18-inch one, beautiful
Yeah,
bar on as well. Yeah, I do various like custom ones.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all great.
So anyone who's interested, or if you wanted to buy a unique gift for a friend or family member, this might be the gift that you could.
Oh
And
yeah.
Michael also puts decorations. You also put kind of
We do
facings
family
on.
crests on them as well. Yeah, hereditary
Absolutely,
stuff.
it'd be a great
Yeah,
idea. It'd be a great gift for somebody. A very
yeah.
unique gift, and it would be handmade. That's the difference. It's not
Oh
something
yeah,
that
yeah.
you.
That's the difference. Yeah,
That's the difference. It's
everything
handmade.
here is made here. It's a family business here.
Yeah.
It's myself, my son Paul, and my little grandson James there, and we all work together on it.
Yeah, and
We're all,
I've brought groups to your workshops, and they've totally
you have
enjoyed.
indeed, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they've
We had a good
totally
bit of laughs
enjoyed.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did actually. We do lovely people as well.
yeah, yeah.
Please God, I see you back in America sometime in the
Or
future.
please God, I get back there with some
Yeah,
tours. So, Michael, before I we finish up, I want to thank you for taking this time and doing this with me and showing me all your different instruments and your gifts. You're truly gifted. So, thank you so much for people
thank you.
watching in. It's been great as chatting up the Irish every Tuesday night on Facebook. Different guest every time. We are sponsored by Secret Ireland Tours, and if anyone wants to come over to Ireland and meet Michael or meet people that we have guests on, contact Secret Ireland Tours LLC.com, and we'll talk about your vacation to Ireland for 2022, because I don't think much is going to happen for
No,
2021, Michael.
I don't think so. Really, I don't think it's
No.
a pity, but let's keep our heads down and get through
Hopefully,
all
yeah.
this thing.
All right. Well,
So,
thanks very much, Michael, for doing that for me. And sure, we'll be talking to you.
and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to show you the Claddagh.
Yeah, the
And
Claddagh.
you take care of yourself and God bless. Okay.
God bless you, Michael. Thanks very
All
much.
right. Take care. Bye.